our universe.
The CayVin Universe.
Oh, yes, we are your host. I'm Vinny.
And I'm Caylin.
Thank you for joining us. We got a very special show for you today. What do we got going on?
Yeah, so we're going to be ranking our top 5 Office Halloween episodes.
Yeah, the Halloween apps.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited about this
Me
one.
too.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, we
Yeah.
said it at the same time. Oh, yes. What else is going on? Well, actually, not really much going on
Not
in
really
our
much.
lives. Just fighting the struggle. Just fighting the
Honestly.
struggle. And late night podcast. Welcome to the late night jams, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, joining us late night. Well, actually, by the time it's uploaded, it'll probably be the morning. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're recording really late
Your
tonight.
chair.
What? Oh, what?
The web.
Oh, the web. Oh, the spider web.
Yeah.
Give that back to Mr. Bones here. Yeah, we're recording late tonight because
It is pretty late.
yeah, I was a little sick this morning. We're supposed to record
Yeah.
this morning, but yeah, obviously that didn't work out.
Yeah, honestly. Shit. We're pretty boring.
Yeah, we're losers, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are joining us, thank you so much, and let's go ahead and right into it. While you're here, let's go into ranking the Office Halloween episodes. But so when we came up with this idea and we talked about it, and then we actually sat down and started watching the episodes again, I didn't realize how there's not really that many Halloween
Yeah.
episodes.
I know.
It's weird.
I know. I could have sworn there were more. I know I told you that too. I was like, what? There's
Yeah.
not one in this season?
Yeah,
Like,
there's
yeah.
honestly only 4.
Technically.
Yeah, there's honestly only 4. Well, technically there's 5 if you count one episode that has a Halloween code open.
Yeah.
But yeah, in reality there's 4.
Yes.
And it's just, yeah, it's weird. There's no Halloween episode from season 2 until season 7. Technically until season 7 if you count the code open one was in season 5, I believe. Yeah. But in reality, there was no Halloween episode from season 2 to 7. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just think they got real sidetracked with everything
Yeah.
else that was going on.
Yeah, and honestly,
I feel.
that goes to show, well, I guess 7 had a Halloween episode. Maybe they're trying to get another Halloween episode in with Michael before he left, and then they had a Halloween episode in 8. It was like they didn't have it this whole time, and then it was just 7, 8, 9. The
Yeah.
last seasons are like, oh, we didn't do many Halloween episodes. Let's get these in real quick, And then of course when Michael left, they're like, Halloween episode's a good idea, just a filler, filler
exactly.
episode. So
Wow, that's sad.
yeah, it is. So that's
Yeah.
probably where they went with it. Because
Definitely.
you're right. There was no time to do Halloween episodes when they had all that other stuff they could do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that when they were introducing the other branches, remember that's when they started talking about Stanford, and then they
Yeah.
had the branches merge. I guess it would have been cool to have a Halloween episode with all the other characters, right? from
Yeah.
Stanford.
Let's put a smile on that face.
All right. Well, let's go and start with number 5. Employee transfer. Now, technically, this one isn't a real Halloween episode. It
True.
just has a Halloween code open. And for the series of ranking, we are going to include it, and because it's number 5, of course.
Yeah.
So you want to go and break down we have certain categories. You
Yeah.
want to go ahead and tell that?
Yeah, so our categories, we actually rewatched these episodes one by one and chose our best quote, our best costume, and the funniest moment of the episode.
Yeah.
And we actually agreed on everything when we were rewatching and writing down. So
Yeah, this is definitely, yeah, you're right. 'cause
yeah, this
normally
isn't really how usually we do differences, our own opinion, but we just decided to go all together on this one.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
So the best quote.
I'm not strong. I'll go back to Jan, and I hate Jan.
So the best quote by Michael is, "I'm not strong. I'll go back to Jan, and I hate Jan." Of course.
While sobbing.
Yeah, while sobbing, of course, talking to Holly, because in this episode, of course, the plot is that Holly's transferring because her and Michael are dating, and apparently that's not allowed.
Yeah.
That's the weird part, because it's Pam and Jim, or Jim and Pam, and
Yeah, but I
that's
think
allowed,
it's,
and
it's just kind of like how our situation kind of was in
Oh,
our
'cause he's
past
a
job,
manager.
because it was a conflict of interest.
well,
in a
yeah, I
way,
think he's the manager and she's HR.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just
kinda,
in that position, if we were both, 2 cashiers or work in the same, area, then it would
That's
be different.
weird.
But sucks.
Yeah, I guess so. Because so she transferred, and then of course he's sobbing to her, saying he doesn't want to leave her and all this because of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then also, did Daryl touch you? I just wanted to include that one.
Did Daryl touch him? He got so offended.
Yeah, that's so funny. So yeah, best costume, of course, referring to the cold open. What do you think?
So I think we both agreed that Creed definitely had the best costume.
Yeah, they really capitalized on the whole Joker because I guess that was the same year the Joker came out. So they really capitalized on that with 3 Creed, Dwight, and Kevin. All 3 being the Joker. So yeah, Creed was the best.
Yeah,
Second,
definitely.
definitely Dwight, the Dwight Joker, and then third, who do we give it to? Kitty Andy.
Yeah, Kitty. Yeah, he was when he asked Jim, like, what do you think I am? Jim's like, cat. He's like, we were going for kitten.
Kitten,
but
yeah. I thought he was like either something like the Thundercats from the Thundercats, or like wasn't there like some kind of band, like some kind of cheetah band or something that they were dressed like that? Am I thinking of something?
Like the Cheetah Girls?
No, not the Cheetah Girls.
Or what
Yeah.
about like Cats the movie or something like that? Or isn't there like a musical?
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, that
Isn't
horrible
that- yeah.
musical that like was like the worst movie ever made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't do very well.
No, it was terrible. Okay, so and then best or funniest moment.
Funniest moment. So definitely not having to do with Halloween, but just the highlight of the episode we feel was the Dwight and Andy interview for Cornell in
Oh
the
yes.
conference room.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a fun one. Yeah, so that's basically when they go back and forth. So yeah, Andy of course is giving a biased interview because he doesn't like Dwight, doesn't want him to wear that,
Yeah.
because it all started when Dwight was wearing a Cornell shirt,
Yeah,
or the
sure.
sweater.
And then he had
Wasn't
like
it-
the
he-
flag hanging.
Yeah,
and
didn't he
the
just do that just to
bobblehead.
fuck with Andy?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
basically, yeah.
And so yeah, they go back and forth, and he's like the Dwight's not paying attention, or he's like can't even
Mhm.
give Cornell your full attention, and then
Yeah.
he's like no, I'm helping Cornell, I'm rating their interviewers or something
Yeah.
like that, and then that's of course
And
when
so
they start
that's when
going back and
Dwight
forth.
chimes in and is like taking his own notes.
Yeah, and then I love when he's like, interviewer has turned off my interest, and now I'm going to the vastly superior Dartmouth. Ever heard of it? And then they just start getting into it. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like you have a pretty hot take about this episode, because of all the moments in this episode, that is the funniest. It was funny the first time I saw it, but there's moments in that. There's moments in that episode that's funny. It's funny the first time I see it, but
Yeah.
then it's not the next or a few times.
Yeah.
Then there's moments that are funny for the first 20 times I see it, and then of course, okay, it's not funny. Then
Yeah.
there's parts where like literally the "let's see your penis" pops out, because there's moments, because we've seen that show like hundreds of
Oh, yeah.
times already by now, and then
Mhm.
are still some moments that make me laugh to this
Yeah.
day.
Like we've never seen it before, right?
Yeah, exactly. But this episode, that moment, that was just kind of like funny for the first few times you watch
Yeah.
it, type of moment. So
Yeah.
yeah, what's your hot take about this episode?
So, God, actually, if I have to be honest, it's not one of my favorites. Yeah, out of all of them, like even if I'm just like chilling and it's on, like I really don't like to have it on because I feel like it's just a waste of time. Because me, I'm like the person, and you can even ask my mom. Like I watch The Office, literally, like I can do anything before I go to bed, while I'm getting ready, anything, and
Yeah.
but at the same time, I am paying attention. Like listening, like how you do with podcasts sometimes.
Right.
So definitely, yeah. If this episode comes on, I probably will change it.
So it is a snoozer.
Yeah.
Okay,
it is a
so
snoozer.
so we didn't even think about this, but I just thought about this right on the spot. But since this episode had a cold open, if the writers came up to you and said, Caylin, instead of this being a whole episode about Holly transferring everything, let's make it a whole episode about Halloween. Would you rather that, or would you rather the episode be about Holly transferring?
No, definitely. If they could change it. I never understood that, why they just made it the cold open.
Right.
Like they never did it with any of the other Halloween episodes.
Yeah,
Like
and
I
then-
would love to ask, like, what was, I guess, but really they couldn't just make another episode about Holly moving.
Exactly. And,
Yeah.
and like you said, you're the biggest Office fan that I know, and that's your worst episode, so they might as well have just made it a full Halloween episode.
Yeah, right.
And then just say, make some
Maybe that's what turns me off about the episode, is that I don't like that it starts off Halloween and then I'm just like,
Yeah.
where did it go?
Maybe make it Halloween, but Holly still transfers or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
She transfers the
know.
next day or the day before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I feel like they had to make it a whole story of the love stories.
Mhm.
The whole point was the love story between
Yeah.
Holly and Michael, but I don't know. Could there have been a way to do that in the cold open and then have the rest
Right.
Halloween? I don't know. I don't think
Exactly.
so. But
Just, yeah.
maybe have it to where it's Halloween, but Holly just transferred,
Yeah.
and maybe throughout the throughout the time, you know, Michael's sad and it's Halloween. They're gonna have this party, and then Michael's sad the whole time. He's not even ready for the party, and then you know you can show flashbacks of her, him saying goodbye to Holly and things like that.
Yeah.
Start off in the cold open and then show flashbacks through all how it ended up.
Wow.
And then maybe
produce your own episode.
Yeah, and then maybe by the end of it, Holly and Michael talk on the phone and have a good talk about it, and then he finally is able to enjoy the Halloween party. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah. Who
You
the
just
fuck?
came up with that on the spot.
Come at me, Greg Daniels. Is that his name?
Yeah, Greg
Yeah,
Daniels.
come at me, GD.
That's hilarious.
God dang it, GD. GD. God, could have made it happen.
I know.
So many missed opportunity. Honestly, like the more I watch it, the more. Like, don't get me wrong, the more I love it, but the more I realize there's so many missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Like you're telling me you never planned on, just if it's a documentary or mockumentary, just send that film crew to Michael's place real quick and film his wedding.
Right.
We never got a Michael's wedding episode. We didn't really get Thanksgiving episodes.
No Thanksgiving episodes.
Even Brooklyn Nine-Nine had Thanksgiving episodes.
Yep. All right. So, our number 4 on the list is Halloween from season 2. So this is the very first Halloween episode of the series.
Yeah.
Let's see. Starting off with our best quote, it's gonna be the scene where Michael is on the phone with Sherry, Jan's assistant, and she's just needing to know. So, plot of the episode, actually, let me just say that first. Michael has had all October to fire somebody. And he's waited till the very last day, which happens to be Halloween. Yep. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does.
So Sherry's just on the phone wanting to know who he's gonna fire, and obviously he's not ready. So end of the conversation comes, and he says, "I wish I could fire Sherry," and Sherry's still on the phone.
She goes, "I'm still here, Michael, right?"
Wish I could fire Sherry.
Hey, I'm still here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then we had the best costume. Of course, we decided the best costume was the two-headed Michael.
Oh yeah,
of course,
definitely.
Yeah.
I wish we could have seen him as Janet Jackson's boob.
Right, and then he said Monica Lewinsky with the stained dress.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and then who do we rank number 2? Let me see. I'm all over. I'm tired today, people. I'm sorry. I'm dragging ass.
Dragging ass. Let's see. For number 2, we actually had Dwight as the Sith Lord.
Yeah, Sith Dwight. Mr. Dwight Snoot. Because with Mr. Dwight Snoot, you said, "Oh yeah, Mr. Poop." You refer to me as Mr. Shoot. Okay, Mr. Poop.
And then third on our rankings, we just gave Pam a little spot in there with her little face paint, her little kitty cat going on.
Yeah, the little curveball.
Yeah.
Pam. Yeah.
We just gave her a spotlight for a sec.
Yeah, because we ranked the other ones, and we really couldn't decide on a third place for this one. And after ranking the other ones, we're like, we'll give Pam some love.
Exactly.
We'll give her this one. Yeah.
Okay. And then our funniest moment actually has to be when Michael's head, his second head, is talking to him.
Yeah.
Basically telling him he should fire Dwight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was a pretty. And another one. This one was good because it was the first Halloween episode, but not really too many funny moments. I guess the whole plot was just a Halloween, him having to fire someone. I guess that was the funny thing was, the fact that he had to fire someone, and I guess because his talk with Creed and Devin was, I guess, the best, or the best part of the show. Wasn't the funniest moment, but I guess the best moment because that's the highlight of the show.
Yeah.
Especially when he tells Devin like. He's like, or Devin was like, "You had it right the first time. Fire Creed." And was like, "No," and then I look like an idiot. And he's like, "So that's why I'm getting fired, so you don't look like an idiot."
He just doesn't even think about what he says.
Yeah, and then at the end, whenever he fires Devin, and then Devin he tries to
a Chili's gift certificate.
I think about that would be the new funniest moment because I don't know. I just thinking about because watching it, it's like I didn't laugh watching it yesterday, but now thinking about it
because it's like
he
the nerve.
Fired him and he tries to give him a Chili's gift certificate.
Hey, I would take it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would take it too, but he ripped it up, and then he calls out. We try to figure out because he calls out a bunch of people's names to meet him for a drink, and then he says the rest you can go to hell.
Yeah.
So we figured out the people that he was basically telling to go to hell was Michael, Creed, Angela, and Dwight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which
kind of
sucks,
sense.
but yes, makes sense.
He even invited Toby for a drink.
Oh yeah.
Because at first we thought, I was like, oh, he didn't say Toby.
He probably feels bad for Toby, and he's just like, he's just there.
Honestly, I like Toby as a character.
Yeah, honestly.
I think we never have him on the podcast.
Paul Lieberstein?
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be cool.
Yeah, we really want to have guests on the podcast, people. We've reached out to a lot of people, but turns out nobody wants to be on your podcast whenever you have under 100 views or listens an episode.
I know.
So,
Come on, guys.
it's
Tell
like
your friends.
it's like whenever you get a job as like a server. You ever try to get a job as a server? Like the first time when I decided like in college, I was like, I'm gonna try to be a server. It's good money. I heard all my friends are servers, and you go to interview places and they're like, do you have experience? I'm like, no. Well, okay, well, you need experience. Like, well, how do you get experience? You have to be a server. Well, how do you be a server? You have to have experience. Well, how do I get experience to be a server? But then how do I be a server? You have to have experience. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
There
So I
was
guess,
a couple of times that I did that.
yeah.
Wow.
So how do you get a lot of views on a podcast? Oh, you have to already have a lot of views on a
Yeah.
podcast. It's like, what? Like, you have to just like, there's people that start podcasts and magically they get a bunch of views, and it's like, no, we're just two normal people.
I
you know?
just thought of a story that I don't know if you know about me.
What?
It doesn't have to do with this episode, but I don't know why it just reminded me. So when I was 15, I filled out an application at Peter Piper Pizza. Mind you, I was 15, right?
Uh-huh.
And I go and I turn in the application, and they asked me to be interviewed. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. And so they did my interview, and then they were like, can you come back in like an hour because we're going to have orientation? And I was like, oh, yeah, cool, right? So, like, I come back, and we're doing all the paperwork, and somewhere, I don't remember when it happened, but they realized that I was 15.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't work here because you have to be 16 to have a job.
I'd be like,
I would be like, you didn't look at my fucking application?
Oh, my God.
Right? Like, that's
Yeah.
pissed me off
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah,
Since that day.
Oh, my God. That's... It's like nobody looked at that.
No, like I already had my uniform and everything, and
Oh
they
my
were
God.
like,
It's like I tell people, I wasted 6 years in college, and literally no job has ever asked me for my degree. I literally put I have my associate's degree
yeah,
in criminal justice on everything, and not one job since college has asked me, can I see your degree?
your degree.
So I could make it up.
Yeah,
I could just say I have a fucking PhD in criminal justice, and people be like, oh, okay. You know, it's like just
Yeah.
nobody. It's like you gotta understand. Even these jobs are normal people. They don't
Yeah.
pay attention to every detail. It's like when I told you when I worked at Radio Shack.
yeah.
When I got a job in college in Radio Shack, I went to 3 fucking interviews at 3 fucking different Radio Shacks with 3 fucking different managers wearing gauges. I had gauges on. You know, in college I went through a phase and I had gauges. They weren't too big. They were just size 0. It was when I tried to go to Dub Zero that I fucked my ear up and got the scar tissue in the back. Finally, you know, it's going away after so many years. But anyway, and then turns out, you know, once I got hired, I already had been there like a month. I was on the way to be employee of the month. Yeah, whatever the fuck that means in that society. You know, because I had the most sales, which means nothing. But
A Radio Shack.
yeah, Radio Shack. Like, oh, I'm employee of the month. I got the most sales at Radio Shack. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, I don't know. I just felt like, what was I fighting for? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It just sometimes you just have to just. You know, I'm sorry. It's great for people who want to do good in life, but sometimes you have to realize you're in a shitty situation with shitty people. So why the fuck,
Yeah.
you
you're
know,
right.
why the fuck do I care? Oh, I'm gonna do my best, and you know whether I'm a garbage man or you know or MVP, whether I'm a garbage man or whether you know I'm a president of a company, I'm gonna do my best. Like, okay,
Yeah.
that's good, but sometimes you gotta realize if you're giving shit, I'm gonna give you shit back.
Oh yeah.
That's just the person I am. You know, call me an asshole or say you know that's not the right way, but that's just the person I am.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it turns out I meet the district manager, and he sees that I have gauges, and he makes me take them out. Well, I get sick or something. I forgot what I had, but anyway, I called in like 2 days in a row because I got sick, and this is like I called in after I guess the week after I met him, and he got after me and my gauges. Literally, I get to work the next day, and they're like, "Hey, you know, blah blah blah's on the phone for you." And I said, "Okay." So I answer, and he's just goes into this like spill of like you know all this other you know or not political, just you know stupid corporate shit. You know, this guy, you know, he was just a district manager, barely making over 6 figures. He thought he was the king of the world. So, you know, he goes into this, speech like, you know, he owns me and he's letting me
Yeah.
go and all this stuff. And he just, you know, ends it with, oh, your services are no longer needed. You know, me being the person I am. I go, I'll see you in court. And I hang up.
Oh my God, you're so crazy.
I just love fucking with people's head
Yeah.
like that.
He
Because
probably was like,
I was never gonna do nothing, and maybe he said, "Yeah, that's fucking stupid." But just maybe, he went to bed that night, and he was like, "Fuck, what if I get in trouble for firing this kid because
Yeah.
of gauges?" Because I
Mhm.
already told the other manager I was gonna sue him for discrimination. So, you know, he might have said fuck this kid, but just maybe he might have lost some sleep that night, and that's where I like to fuck with people. But anyway, so yeah, little no attention to detail.
Yeah.
I went to three separate interviews, worked there for a month, and then all of a sudden this manager gets a stick up his ass, doesn't want somebody with gauges working for him. And I had clear ones, and I could take them out too. They didn't look back taken out, but yeah. Once this guy said fuck off, you know, now look at him. He's probably working somewhere else because where's Radio Shack?
I know, right? Fucker lost his job.
Oh shit. That's funny. Hey, we need to hire a producer. Maybe come work for us.
Oh my God, fuck him.
Yeah, but if I see something I don't like on you, your service is no longer needed.
Okay, so our number 3, we have costume contest from season 7.
Yeah.
Season 7. Yeah, cool. Okay, so the best quote we have when Todd Packer is overhearing Jim and what's his name? The guy
Danny
from
Cordray.
Oh yeah, Danny Cordray. And Danny Cordray talking about, I guess, like when him and Pam had this little, you know, thingy thing going on. And Packer just automatically assumes and asks Jim, hey Albert, you looking for someone to bang your wife?
Yeah.
Like, what? He goes, no.
Looking for someone to bang your wife? No.
Albert, you looking for someone to bang your wife?
Nope. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of Todd Packer, the best costumes. Well, what do we have ranked?
Our best costumes, we have, of course, number 1, Gabe as Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, Gabe. Yeah, I gotta give him some love.
And then number 2, we have Dwight as the Scranton Strangler.
Yeah.
And then Todd Packer as a pregnant nun.
Yeah.
So
that's great. Pregnant nun, Todd Packer.
I like to know who's in charge, or who was in charge of like making those decisions of like who everyone's gonna be, or if like they got to choose.
They decided,
you know?
yeah,
like,
that would be cool.
I wonder.
Huh.
I need to send in a question to the office ladies on this episode.
Right. And then the funniest moment was, of course, the Michael, Kevin, Gabe combo. Whenever, because of course the plot of this episode was not only the costume contest, but this is when Daryl goes over Michael's head about the what is it, the truck drivers?
Truck drivers
they can
being
sell
able
products.
to sell paper.
Yeah, so of course Michael gets all paranoid, so he sees Kevin and Gabe talking, and then he confronts them, and he's like, "What are you?" He's like, "Don't you tell him anything. You have anything to tell him, you can tell me." And he's like, "Well, Gabe asked if he could do any moves for the catwalk," and Kevin's like borderline crying. He's like, I said, like, there's a move where she powers down like a robot. And then he's like, all right, well, you know, don't let it happen again. He's like, you think I'll let this happen again? No way, Jose.
Then Gabe, poor Gabe. Yeah.
Like, then you just go, fuck you, Gabe.
Oh
great.
Man, I just realized our next so the next 2 funniest moments actually have to do with Kevin also.
Yes. I'm sorry. There's some, I know I've met some people that like The Office, and they're like, I just can't stand Kevin. It's like, yeah, there's some times where he's just like, you know, it's just, he's kind of annoying and he's there, but then there's times where he just gives comedic gold.
Yes,
you know
literally.
what I mean? And this, like you said, can be an example in these next ones. So yeah, we're down to number 2 already.
Yeah.
So of course we're gonna say number 2 if you can't already figure out number 1. Yeah, we'll get to that, but we do have honorable mentions that are kind of technically Halloween episodes, but not really.
Yeah.
We'll explain that. But so number 2, Spooked from season 8, episode 5. So the best quote, of course, has to be, you know, the actual, not exactly a quote, but a monologue, the Robert California monologue, when he's going around the room and he's basically telling a scary story, but he's going around the room because throughout the episode he actually, you know, visited with everybody and talked to everyone and kind of got a you know, sense of their fears. So he goes around, he tells a story involving everyone's fears as he's like right next to them or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
That's just like I felt like that was the most genius thing, like just going around the room and addressing everyone's fears one by one. And like the look in their face whenever he, you know, finally, like, for example, he starts talking about a snake and Creed is like, oh my.
Yeah, Creed,
or, you know,
because he actually says like, oh my, like something like that. That is actually a funny moment. And then Kelly too, when he says that part where he's telling the story and she's like, wait, I don't have a husband. You see Kelly like look up like, oh,
what,
you
like,
know.
And then whenever, because Meredith said that she fears Jim, and he's like, something about a man, tall, slim, and Meredith goes, Jim. And Jim goes, what? Like, what?
great. That's so great. And then did you notice that he never says anything about Ryan specifically?
Oh yes, I did notice
Yeah,
that.
because Ryan's fear is being ignored, so
Yep.
he ignored him.
Ignored and left
Yeah.
out.
Fine, bitch.
Fine, bitch. Yeah, to end it, that was
Yeah.
perfect.
I never understood that, but I guess it's funny because it throws you off at the end. I think that's the purpose of it.
But apparently his son, remember, his son starts laughing after he talks.
I'm fine,
He's like,
Everyone's all creeped out. I think that was part of his psychological game. Is like it's
Yeah.
like a scary. It gets to the point. It's just I'm fine, bitch.
And that this is like apparently coming from a baby, right?
I spit that out.
Oh.
Yeah, this is coming from a baby.
Like what?
It's like I guess to some people that'd be scary.
I know.
You go to a baby and he's just like I'm fine, bitch. Be like,
I fucking slap the shit out of it.
be like power of Christ compels you. Oh god.
Oh god, it's hilarious.
So the best costume has to be Kerrigan Dwight.
Kerrigan
like,
from
if you-
StarCraft.
He goes, if you had those blades, you look like Kerrigan from StarCraft. He's like, that's exactly who I am.
And
I've
then
been
Kelly,
censored.
but Kelly thinks he's a Jamaican zombie woman.
Yeah. And then Robert California's son, he's like, if you're gonna be someone, let's be like a lurker. Don't be some woman. He's like,
Some chick.
she's queen of this swarm,
Zerg
whatever.
swarm.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, she also has boobs. He's like, yeah, but no nipples. That's why I love this show.
I know.
So good. Number two was what do we do for number two? Oh, Taliban Creed.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it was like the Taliban or something.
Like what? So random.
I know.
I really want his when that episode it was his casual day
Yeah.
when he wore that cult outfit, the white shirt
Oh,
with the
yeah.
white pants. Like I want one of those.
Yes.
I don't want to join a cult, but I would like an outfit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can
you're
join
let me
one for just a
clarify.
day, like the orientation when you get the outfit and
Yeah.
everything, and then I won't go back. Maybe do something like that.
That's hilarious.
Right. And then number 3 we had Wendy Aaron because that was a cool
That was
little
really
costume,
cool. Yeah, she pulled it off really well.
Yeah, that is.
Uh,
And then of course the funniest moment was when Kevin found out that they have mummies in a museum.
why on earth would a museum put a mummy in it?
But it's like that's the funny thing is like yeah they have them, but I think he actually really thinks that mummies come to life.
Yes,
and everything.
I know.
That's the funny, right? Yeah, okay. I'm not. Yeah, I'm sure everyone thought that.
Yeah.
I think I'm special sometimes, and I'm not. I think I get things that everybody gets.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Hilarious.
So number 1.
Flip page here.
Yeah.
So dun 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 dun. Our number 1 fave. Here Comes Trouble. From
Honestly, yeah.
season
Season 9.
9.
Season
the
9,
final
episode
season.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so season 9 of all seasons has the best Halloween episode.
Definitely.
Yep,
You want to
yep.
talk about the best quote because that's your favorite quote.
Oh, okay, yes, because Andy, of course, is dressed as George Michael. Even when he first walks in, he's like says jitterbug.
Yeah,
things like-
jitterbug.
So yeah, so he has because basically the plot of this is what the Here Comes Trouble comes. Pam and Jim have a fight. We'll talk about that, and then of
Mhm.
course Nellie's pill. But so they're Here Comes Trouble's performing for everyone in the conference
Mm-hmm.
room, and then they start doing Faith because that's what Aaron asked them to do,
Yeah.
which is Andy's signature song. Turns out Broccoli Rob, played by Stephen Colbert, ends up on the screen, and then he gets all mad. And he's like, "Wait, why is Broccoli Rob here?" Because Andy already gets up. He starts
Yeah.
dancing. Ding,
Ding,
ding, ding, ding,
ding,
ding, ding.
Oh, I guess it would be nice.
Hell yeah. If I could touch your body, I know not everybody got body like you. Oh, it's great. And then, so he's like, oh, that's Broccoli Rob's signature song. He's like, no, Faith is my signature song. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know. He goes, I'm dressed as George Michael. And the guy goes, I thought you were Adam Lambert. He's like, "Cool." It's basically George Michael is basically the Adam Lambert of the 80s. That's why it's so funny.
Yeah, it is funny how similar they are.
Yeah.
Russell, I'm dressed like George Michael. I thought you were Adam Lambert.
I'd like to see George Michael with Queen.
Yeah, true. Okay, so the best costume, of course, we have Andy.
Yeah,
of course,
George Michael.
number 1, yes. Number 2, we have female Toby. Yes.
Female Toby, it's been nice.
Played
be
by
I know.
played by Nellie.
Yeah.
Nellie, yeah. honestly, that whole Nelly and Toby thing that they tried to do at the end, it's just like I kind of feel bad because she like treated Toby so terrible.
I know. It's like, why are you gonna dress like a dude if you're not, if you don't want to give him a piece? You know?
Exactly.
Like, why you dress like me then?
Exactly.
You know, I would think that's like a flirtatious move, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to piss off anybody. People be like, oh my god, how dare you? I can dress however the fuck I want.
And then the third costume that we have would be Pumpkinhead Dwight from the cold open, because of course in the actual episode he has like a pig nose or something like that. He's like, and didn't he have like a coat on or something, like a detective pig or something?
Was that what he was?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Now I feel like I have to watch it again. But yeah, those are are the best costumes. Let's see. The funniest moment when they're talking about the Monster Mash. Yes. And again, this goes back to the fact that Jim and Pam had a fight. This is kind of annoying because I guess he went to like the lunch with like the new athlete people or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And him and Pam had already said that they would invest some money, you know, but he just gets to the lunch and they tell him like, you know, oh no, you're all set, you're good, no need to invest,
and he wants to
still invest, but not just some, all of it. If that was like a real life situation with me and you, I'd be so upset. Yeah,
he just did that for his pride, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't give a fuck what people think.
Yes, right. And so like there comes a moment later on whenever they're talking about Monster Mash and Jim says something about that you have to listen to Monster Mash when it's Halloween, right? And Pam just goes off on this, you know, tangent because she's obviously thinking about their fight, but she's comparing it to what they're talking about. So she's like, oh, they have to? Really? They have to
and
listen
then Kevin's
to
in the middle of this, dressed as Charlie Brown. And he's like, well, you know, they don't have to, but, you know. He's like trying to defend Monster Mash.
Yes.
And they're going, so basically Monster Mash is code for what they're fighting about.
Yes,
so
basically.
Kevin comes in with the talking head of Pam hates Monster Mash. Like,
it just like turns to him, right, in an interview.
He's like, and you
like
see,
never
like,
bring it up in front of her.
Yeah, because when it starts him talking, he's talking over, you know, the video of them. So you see him kind of like want to agree with Jim, but then he like go back to Pam. Like, he's like, do not bring up Monster Mash in front of Pam. He's like, Jim was making good points, like why it was good, but she's like, no, hate it, stupid.
Kevin is
great.
Just hilarious. Honestly, I feel.
Yeah,
Brian
Kevin's great.
Baumgartner. I don't know how to say his last name.
Yeah. You want to go and say the honorable mentions?
Yeah. So our honorable mentions, we have Diwali. We only consider this an honorable mention because Michael actually assumes that it's a Hindu Halloween.
Yes. And it's not, people.
Yes.
It's not.
And we do actually have a best costume for this episode. And that goes to Carol.
Carol, cheerleader.
Slutty cheerleader.
Slutty cheerleader. Yeah, at least I'm not a slutty cheerleader. And then whenever, because Kelly's parents in that episode, who actually were really played by Kelly's parents.
Mm-hmm.
Is, remember he asked Michael, how long have you been dating the cheerleader?
Oh, yeah.
And he's wearing his costume from season 2, the double, you know, two-head Michael.
Yeah, he's wearing his double head, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. And then the next one, because it's not really a Halloween episode, but it is, was Koi Pond from season 6, because you're the one that told me that apparently it was supposed to be a whole Halloween episode and they cut it out.
They literally cut out
like
all the Halloween.
All the Halloween parts.
Yep.
Like, because I remember that because you can see the deleted scenes. It's the Halloween, you know, in the warehouse where the Jim book face comes from, or where it's supposed to be Facebook, but
Facebook,
it's everyone, even in the episode, they make fun of it as book face.
Yeah, he just has book right there.
Well, I wonder
like
if he,
B and then okay.
I wonder if he was the reason why they scrapped it, because they thought it'd be funny for him to be Facebook, and then when they filmed it, they're just like, we don't like it. Let's scrap it. Yeah, but they made a fucking pop out of it, obviously.
And then, Michael was supposed to be like
the dick in the box.
Yeah, I don't think that episode probably would have worked. I think they were afraid.
Oh.
I don't know.
Losers. Come on, Greg Daniels.
No. Hate it. Stupid.
Lotion in the basket. I don't know. Shit, did I just unplug my mic?
No.
I don't know. There you go, people. How long we've been going on? Yeah, a little history debunker for you. But, yeah, we're going to introduce a new segment, but honestly, we're tired.
Yeah, honestly.
It's going to be a history debunker. We'll just go and say it because I wanted to go further into it, but then as I was going into it, I was like, everybody knows that Christopher Columbus didn't really discover America. Technically, it was Leif Erikson. Happy Leif Erikson Day. Yeah, he actually landed in Canada 500 years before Christopher Columbus. So he technically was the one that discovered the Americas or North America. So yeah. But yeah, everyone knows. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because earlier was Indigenous Peoples Day to start off this week, which is, of course, replaced Christopher Columbus in a lot of states. Actually, I think it should be mostly all states by now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, Indigenous Peoples Day.
I wonder how many states.
I looked it up, but should be everywhere. 15 states: Alabama, Alaska, Hawaii, Idaho, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, New Mexico, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Dakota, Vermont, and Wisconsin. No Texas. It's not. Of course, Texas wouldn't recognize it. Of all states, Texas is kind of, Republican state. And honestly, Texas was belonged to the the Mayans and fucking the Native Americans.
Yeah.
And Mexicans way before America.
Yeah.
So that's funny. Funny Texas. You want to end this episode? I think that's a good ending point.
Yeah. Honestly, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty intense for the end. I just go off and I just say things. I don't even know where I'm going with it. I just talk, and afterwards I just sit here and I'm like, fuck, should I have said that? I'm like, damn, I shouldn't have said that.
It's fine. You were just saying what was on your
somebody
mind.
5 and 10 years we're gonna come back. Oh, Vinny says he wants an assault rifle. Yeah, fuck you.
Waste of time.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be the one crying, oh, why aren't the cops here in time? Oh, I can't fight him with just my baseball bat. Yeah,
Lame.
Shut up. All right, people. If you're still listening, if I haven't pissed you off and you haven't turned this off, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. You are the real star in our universe. Yeah. Of course, make sure if you want to keep up with us on the daily, of course, keep up with our show schedule and then keep up with get some fire memes from our Instagram.
Yeah, you already know.
Make sure you follow us at the CayVin Universe on Instagram.
And don't forget, you can email us your questions, your comments, and your suggestions to the CayVinUniverse@gmail.com.
Oh yeah, baby. All right, guys, peace and love, and we'll hear from us soon.
Bye, guys.